I know there's a lot of people that like to overland all year long, but there are some who like to be kept a little bit cooler in the summer and maybe a little bit warmer in the winter. And on this episode of Coddiwomple Overland, we're going to be talking about the new EcoFlow Wave 2 that's not only an air conditioner, but also a portable heater.
We don't need a destination, let's go where the river's taking us.
Now there are several other portable air conditioners out on the market, but EcoFlow with the Wave 2 has upped the game a little bit when it comes to BTU and air output. This one actually will put out 5,100 BTUs of cooling power, and it's truly an air conditioner. It's not just a swamp cooler or something like that. Now in addition to that, it also heats. This thing will put out 6,100 BTU of heat as well. When it comes to powering your Wave 2, you have several different options. You can power this in 4 different ways. You can power it by AC, you can power it through the battery that you can get extra with it, and that's actually a 1160 watt-hour battery. Or you can actually plug in another type of power station to it, or you can even run this off of solar. So when it comes to the air conditioning, I think the Wave 2 is going to work pretty good if you're in a small trailer or camper or in a tent and be able to duct the hot air out. Now the operating temperature for this Wave 2 is from about 41 degrees up to 122. So I'm not sure how well that this thing is really going to work in heating mode. I don't think that if you get down into the sub-freezing temperatures that this heat is going to actually be able to heat your tent or your camper. So what about true portability? Now the Wave 2 unit standalone weighs about 32 pounds, but if you add the optional battery to it, you're adding another 17 pounds to that. So this makes this unit weigh 49 pounds in total. When it comes to size, it is a little bit larger than some of its competitors, but it also puts out a little bit over double the BTU of cooling power. But it's still yet small enough to where you can put it on the floor of your travel trailer and it not be too much in the way. Or the way the ducting works on this thing, you can actually set it outside and just put the ducts into whatever you're trying to cool. The Wave 2 has 4 different modes. It has maximum, eco, sleep, and fan. Now depending on which one of these that you choose depends on how long that the battery is going to actually last. Now if you just run it in max mode and run it full blast, it's the battery, the 1168 watt add-on battery is going to run you about 2 hours. But if you turn it down to the eco mode, then you can actually get up to about 8 hours out of this battery pack. What happens is the air conditioner will kick on and off and cycle. That way it doesn't use constant power, or as much constant power anyway. When you get ready to hook the Wave 2 up to the external battery, it's really pretty simple. All you have to do is set it on. It sits down in some grooves and slide it forward. You can hear it click, and then it is all attached together. Now how do you get power to those? Then you have this little adapter that plugs into the battery pack, and it also plugs into the power station, and you're ready to go. At that point you can turn it on, and this is truly portable power. So this being a true air conditioner, it's going to have some water that it draws out of the air. And what do you do with that? Well, you can actually set this up and not have a drain line out of it for a certain amount of time. And it actually has a little indicator here on the display that tells you how much water you have in it. And in the event that it gets too full, the air conditioning unit will actually shut off and just run the fan. We found that while we were testing. But all you have to do is drain it, and you can drain it by using the buttons here on the front or by using the app. Then you can just dump it out, or if you want to run it more continual and not have to worry about draining it like that, you can run the supplied drain hose and leave it open all the time. When it comes to setting up your Wave 2 for air conditioning mode, just like every other air conditioner, you have to have a intake you have to have a hot air output and then the cool air output. You can set this up either inside or outside of your tent or your camper, and they supply you with several different adapters and ductwork to be able to make that happen. So if you want to use this on the inside of your tent, then you set the unit on the inside. There's an adapter that goes right here with a hose that will send the hot air out of your unit, and then you'll be able to return using this existing air and just recirculate it. Now, if you wanted to put this unit on the outside, maybe to keep things a little bit quieter, the only thing that you would need to do then is just run your cold air output through the duct and into your unit. If you want to recirculate that unit, you could also put your air inlet adapter here with the ductwork going in. You still can recirculate your air, but your unit will be sitting outside. So real world, what do we think about this unit? I tell you, it's a little bit heavy for my taste. It is big, but you know, we're all about saving space. If an air conditioner is something you want and you're in a really hot, humid climate, this thing is probably the way to go for a good, comfortable night's sleep in the middle of the summer. We've tried it here at home. We've tried it in a bedroom that we didn't have any air conditioning in, and this thing worked really well. We've also tried it in a small one of the T-van campers, and it worked good there too. But I have to tell you, it wasn't real hot when we tested it. We're going to be testing this more and more throughout the summer months, and we'll be doing another video on it just to let you know what our real world findings are. So far, it's a really nice unit. All of the products from EcoFlow are second to none in my book. Now, as far as the heat goes, I really don't think that this thing is going to work in really cold temperatures. But if you're camping in temperatures that are above 40 degrees and you want to just take the chill off of the air, this thing will absolutely do that too. If you think the Wave 2 is something you might like to try, check out the description below where we have links and discount codes.